All right. So, was anyone pinching themselves this morning? Like legit, this was day one? Because some of you have known for like a week or a month or weeks that you've been accepted. We had our prep week meeting last week, and then all of a sudden today was like the day to do all the things. And so anyway, let's go ahead and jump on the scales and get your starting weigh-ins. Clocked, checked in, marked.
Katie, 207.6.
Anya, 245.0.
Good morning, day one, Rosie Mercedes, 166 pounds.
Good morning, Carmen. This is Carmen. Day one weigh-in. We were at 264.3, I think. No, sorry, 262.3.
So obviously we hopped on the scale this morning, and the scale, when we hopped on the scale today, it showed us the number. And sometimes we can have a hard time with that, right? There can be a lot of guilt associated with that. There can be a lot of, how did I let myself get here? Oh my gosh, like we don't want anyone to know. We don't want anybody to see. We lie about it on our driver's license. I used to cut out tags of my clothing so no one would see the size 22, whatever it was, right? When I was with my friends and family and we were folding clothes, like sometimes my girlfriends or my mom, they try to help me fold clothes. I would always very sneakily, strategically make sure I grabbed all my clothes because come on, I didn't want somebody having Rosie's face as they're folding my jeans, right? So I'm like trying to covertly grab my jeans and fold them so that the other person's not like, wow, honey, those are yours. Want to know what nobody tells you about losing weight? So we used to travel. We've always traveled a lot. And I would watch all these skinny chicks show up to the airport with one suitcase. And I'm like, how did she get all those clothes into one suitcase? Like how? Because when your pants are all this big and you're having to pack for a week, these are 4 or 5 times the size of my old pant or my new pants. When your clothes are smaller, do you know how much you can fit in a suitcase? Like so much. These things are really heavy. These are heavy, these things. And so when you get smaller, your clothes are smaller and you can fit a lot more in a suitcase. So that's just a really quick little side note that all of you guys will get to experience at some point in the future. So anyway, so whatever the scale told you today was because of your previous decisions. Your previous decisions, what you currently know, have led you to exactly where you're at. And for a lot of years, I'll say, wanted to think that I knew a lot about health. I wanted to think that I knew a lot about weight loss. And I finally had to get to the point where I was like, I clearly know nothing. I clearly, like, what is proof of what we know? The size of our thumb.
Yeah.
The results in our life is what we know. All the other things are just what we've heard.
Mhm.
That's how we know whether we've heard something or we know something. And for a long time, I'm like, I know how to lose weight. I know how to lose weight. I'm running around in my size 22s. I know how to lose weight. I know how to be skinny. I know how to be fit. Like laying down on the bed to button them, but I know how. And I finally had to get to a point. I heard somebody say, it was one of my mentors, and he said, you know what you know by the fruit in your life. And it like smacked me upside the head because all of a sudden I was like, I know nothing about how to lose weight. I've heard how to lose weight. I've heard how to be healthy, but I clearly don't know. And I had to get to the point when I started this last time, when it was my last day one, where it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Because if I knew what I was doing, I wouldn't be struggling with this thing for how many decades at this point. And so it was coming to the realization that I know nothing about weight loss. I've heard a lot, but I know nothing because the fruit in my life was morbidly obese. It was not fit. It was not healthy. It was not a weight loss success. Prior to that point, I was a weight loss failure, right? No one was going to come to me and ask me for weight loss advice, right? Like no one was going to come to their size 22 laying on the bed to button her pants friend and be like, hey, could you give me some health advice? Like no one was going to do that. So that was the first thing I had to come to. The second thing I had to come to was this, like to stop being ashamed of where I was starting. Because you can't leave any room for shame. Shame leads to
That's so true.
self-sabotage. Shame leads to self-sabotage. And so when we're shameful, shame causes us to be secretive. Shame causes us to secret eat. Shame causes us to lie about our weight on our driver's license. Shame causes us to order something at a restaurant, eat part of it, pack the rest of it up because we're so full, and then go home and eat the rest of it. Isn't it so ridiculous how we've all done these things? Like we're grown as women.
So
And we've
true.
done these silly things. Shame causes us to take a lick of the frosting or the brownie batter. And then when someone walks in, we pretend like we're not chewing. Shame causes us to keep our bathing suit cover up on the beach with our bathing suit underneath because we're ashamed of our form. Shame causes us to self-sabotage. Shame causes us to never get to our goals. And when it comes to weight, health, our size, our weight, this is one of those things that especially women more than men, we guard this thing. We put on the face of I've got it all together. We put on the face of I'm super duper confident. We put on the face of I don't like, you know, we do our best to dress ourselves up and make ourselves feel good and look good, but we're perfectly aware of all the areas that we don't like. And so we've got to be careful to leave no room for shame at all. Because feeling shameful is a habit. And if we don't root this out, it will lead to self-sabotage. It will lead to you sabotaging your success. Has anyone in the past ever sabotaged your success? You started doing really good. You lost some weight. You were getting some new sizes. And then all of a sudden,
Yep.
Guilty.
yeah. And so
Now,
this entire 6 months is about being open with what has kept us stuck, not trying to hide it, trying to find it. Did you hear me? It's not trying to hide it. It's trying to find it. It's trying to find those things that have kept us stuck. It's trying to find and root out those things because the only shot of us losing it and staying where we're at is figuring out what has caused us to stay there in the first place. It's about being 100% honest. When you're tempted, it's not pretending like you're perfect and you got it all together. Listen, all of you have probably been tempted today to eat something you shouldn't have. You're going to be tempted this week. But that's what this group is for, is to come in and like literally shine light. You're no longer doing this by yourself. So when you're tempted, it's shining light on the thing that's tempting you and saying no. Like no more. You like one of my favorite things to do, look at food as future poop. Like you are nothing but future poop. Like you brownies, you're fudgy poop tomorrow. Like I'm literally just going to crap you out. I am stronger than you. And all of a sudden, when I look at brownies as fudgy poop, it no longer looks as good. When I look at cheese as smelly poop, it no longer looks as good. When I think about McDonald's as sticky poop, it no longer like sounds as good. I'm like, oh, you're going to be sticky, hard, like heavy poop tomorrow. Nope, don't want that. Right. And like, so it's one of those things that, again, everything's perspective. And so as we enter into this first week, it's totally okay to say, you know what? This is where I'm starting, but it's not where I'm staying. This is where I'm starting, but it's not where I'm staying. This is my last day one that I will ever have. In knowing that this is your time, knowing that this exact moment in time, all your previous failures, all the previous diets, all the things you have done have set you up and led you to this moment in this time right now. And this is your time. This is your time to prove the haters wrong. This is your time to shock yourself. This is your time for that ex who dumped you to get onto Facebook and be like, what? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I let her go. What? This is a time for Karen from 11th grade chemistry to get on the F book and be like, Sue, yes, Karen, have you seen Svetlana? I know she probably had one of those surgeries and one of those lap bands because there's no way she looked like that on her own.
God, that's good.
So that Karen and Sue would be gossiping about how good your butt looks.
Everybody's gonna say we went on Ozempic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. She must be taking Ozempic. I know it. You
We
know,
all did Ozempic.
she had her ribs removed. They're all going to be gossiping about what you did to get these great results. And so, but it's not going to happen by chance. It's only going to happen by choice. And so it's understanding that this is not only your time, this is your moment, and you were literally built for it. You know, one of my favorite things to remember is that having any kind of success, there's hard work that goes into it. Like this whole process is simple. It's not hard, but it requires hard work. But then it's remembering that you were built. Like you were built to do hard things. Like you were literally put together in your mother's womb to do hard things. You learned how to walk. You learned how to stop crapping in your diaper and go to the restroom on a toilet. There are several, think about things in your life that you were so nervous, that you were so scared, things that you never thought you could accomplish. And today, you don't even think about them anymore. Like all of you have things in your life that you've accomplished where the odds were stacked against you. This is just another one of them. And so in a moment, you guys are going to be making your phase 1 declaration, because it's one thing for me to say, you know what, you've got this. You can do this. This is your time. This is your last day 1 ever. It's like one thing for me to say it, but it's a whole nother thing for you to say it. And what has a bigger impact on what you believe, my words or your words?
Ours.
Your words. And there's one person's opinion who is the most important opinion in your entire life. Because the truth is, you will never rise above the opinion you have of yourself.
That's good.
And so when I first started, my opinion of myself was I'm a weight loss failure. Weight loss is hard. I'm big boned. There's no way I could ever be one of those tiny people. Like that's just not possible. And as long as I believed that and spoke that, that was my reality. It wasn't until I started changing the narrative, I started changing what I was saying about who I was and where I was going, that things started to change. And so over these next 6 months, and this is going to kind of build on each other as we go through these weeks, but you're going to start creating this other identity. You're going to start crafting who you want to be. If failure was an option, if failure was not an option, what size would your butt be? What would your wardrobe look like? Where would you shop? What would your date nights look like? What would your sex life look like? Because if you're married, hopefully you got some goals of what your sex life should look like. And if you don't have a goal, it probably sucks. I'm not judging, been there, done that. And if you're going to be married, I mean, you might as well have a good sex life. I mean, you know, listen, orgasms and working out give you endorphins, and people with lots of endorphins are not depressed.
That's right.
Anyway, and so in a moment, you are going to speak this declaration about this new chapter, this brand new beginning, this line in the sand that you're drawing where you say, okay, today is the start of my brand new life. Everything in the past has been my teacher. It has prepared me for where I'm at. My past doesn't equal my future. And it's it's literally turning the page and beginning this new chapter. It's not focusing back here. It's not focusing on last year's failure. It's not focusing on all the times before, because you can't look forward when you're looking backwards. Does that make sense? If you're focused looking backwards, that's where you're going to look. And your focus is like, if you're, think about it, if someone's driving and they look over here, the car naturally goes over here. If someone's driving and they look over here, the car naturally goes over here. So wherever you're focused on is where you go. So if you're focused on the past, you're going to keep repeating the past. And so it's realizing that with this declaration, this is a brand new chapter. This is a brand new page. You have the pen and you get to design this next chapter to be exactly what you want it to be.
So I'm Carmen from Granby, Quebec. And this morning I weighed in at 262.3 pounds, sorry. I declare that this is my first and last day one. Well, not my first day. Oh my God, I'm everywhere. This is gonna be my last day one. And this is the last time that I will weigh so much. I will commit to myself and to the program. I will stop being on the sidelines of my life and become my biggest cheerleader, just as I cheer on all those around. I'll show up and be the best version of me because la vie est belle and I am worth it. And that's it.
Yes, so my name is Anya and I'm from Houston, Texas. And this morning I weighed in at 245 pounds. And I declare that I'm not going to give up on myself or self-sabotage myself. I deserve to put myself first and finally live a full life, the full life that I desire, without my weight being the factor that holds me back. And that's my declaration.
My name is Katie Waldrop, and I'm from Oxford, Alabama. And my starting weight is 207.6 pounds. And I'm gonna be Peggy, Carmen. My goal is to have unshakable confidence in who I am and the power and the presence that I carry. I will be an active and fun mom and strong enough to carry my family into their glorious and productive futures. Now I can't see my words. I will be a present grandparent and a blessing to my community as an active and healthy participant. That's it.
My name is Angela Schroyer. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I'm 39. My weight today was 294. I am deciding and declaring that I'm going to show up for myself every day, follow the plan to a T. I'm going to get my before Gia body back because I've literally almost doubled in size. I'm going to make better habits, and I forgot what else. But basically, I'm just going to dedicate some time to myself and get back to my life.
So I'm a sympathetic crier, and then I can't stop. So I'm sorry. Okay, so my name is Svetlana Belinsky, and I am from Nampa, Idaho. And my starting weight this morning was at 230.6 pounds, I believe. And today I am declaring to let go of the past and stop going there. Like, it's over, it's gone, it's not coming back. I need to just move on. I need to stop regretting it. I don't regret my kids. I don't regret my husband. I love them very much. And there's nothing I could have done to change how I got here. So just let it go. It's just not something I want to dwell on. Like you guys say, we need to just get on with our life. So I'm here now. I'm doing this for myself. Failure is not an option. This is my last day one. I will have my husband be proud of me. I will be a confident wife. I will be a happy mom, not a angry, yelling mom. I will get to my size 6. I will set a good example for my kids and set a good trajectory for them. I will give glory to God for everything. And there is no pressure to be perfect, but I am worth it. And once again, thank you, Dennis, my brother, for inspiring me and doing the hard thing. So, Dennis, you got this.
My name is Rosie. I am from Ocala, Florida. I started my weight this morning at 165 pounds. And as a member of season 11, I declare that this is the last time that I'm going to start something and not finish it. And I'm gonna cry because I don't know. The Latinx story, and then like going me after, and then just like talking about my problems and my insecurities. It's just, so just bear with me. So I declare that this is gonna be my last time. I am sick and tired of always starting something and not finishing it, or just getting like good enough. Like Carmen, like I feel like I've been able to like, you know, be successful in my career and be like, you know, for other people like, oh my God, you're doing good. But deep inside, I am insecure. I don't like the way I look. You know, you guys are probably like, oh my God, but you're 165 pounds. I was heavier, and last year, I was 225 pounds. But like, I feel like I'm here and I'm stuck, and I have been giving up on myself little by little. And I don't want to do that. I want to, like, for the first time in my life, do something, accomplish it, and be proud that I did it. I did it for me. I did it for my health. I did it for my kids. I did it to feel good, to look good, to feel good, and to finally be genuinely inside and out happy. I want to, for the first time, stop having those thoughts in my mind that I struggle with every single day. And that's it. And I want to have a better relationship with food. And I don't want to self-medicate myself with a glass of wine at the end of a hard day of work and just go down the road. Yeah. So I declare that that is not me anymore. And I am going to be a happy, healthy, fabulous size 5.
Yes, I love it.
Awesome job. Awesome job. And so this week, I want you guys to take your declaration, and I want you to either write it or type it out. And I want you to put it in a place or places that you're going to see it every day, to be reminded of why you're doing this. Why are you putting in the work? Why are you willing to say no when you're tempted? Why are you willing to dedicate this time? Why are you willing to go all in on yourselves? Because there's there's always going to be moments that try to tempt us to get off track. But this is your time that you're not just going to talk about doing it. You're not just going to dream about doing it. This is the time where you are actually going to do it. That 1 year from today, when all of you look in the mirror, you're not going to recognize yourself from the inside out. Because it's not just about changing the physical. A true transformation first happens on the inside. And when it happens on the inside, it's an inside job. And when we work on the inside, the outside automatically changes. And this is one of the things I hate about diet culture, because diet culture works on the outside. It only works on the outside to get a temporary change. And why is it a temporary change? Because when you don't change the inside, you never get a permanent change on the outside. The only way to get a permanent change on the outside is to have a permanent change on the inside. So this is why we're going to be tackling the secret eating, tackling the emotional eating, tackling the way you see yourself, tackling what you say to yourself, how you speak to yourself, how you allow others to speak to you, tackling the way what you believe about who you are and where you're going and where you can go. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. And in order for you to become the person that you were always meant to be, change has to occur.